Chosen one, I speak to you now as one who watches over your season. I am not surprised you are here. You did not click by accident. I see the scroll of your destiny unrolling even as you listen. I come to tell you that a sealed word is being unsealed in perfect Kairos timing. The appointed hour on heaven's clock has arrived for you, my beloved. Listen, anointed one. You are standing at the edge of a destined moment, a long-awaited unlocking that could unfold today, tonight, or within the coming hours and days. This is a divine unsealing, a prophetic scroll opening written for you before your first breath. The scriptures whisper it, Habakkuk 2:3, the vision waits for the appointed time, and Ecclesiastes 3:1, there is a season for everything. Hear that heaven's timing is exact, and your season is now. I declare over you, expect transformation in body, spirit, and circumstance. Prepare your heart, steady your faith, and keep your hands clean. This is not casual, it is holy urgency. I will walk with you through what comes, my child. Receive this as your invitation to rise, for what is being released to you is both test and trust, and you are ready. Chosen one, listen closely. This is not casual commentary. I am speaking to you as one who has walked through holy hushes and sudden openings, as one who has watched heaven smooth the way for those it chose. Hear me, the scroll that has been sealed over your life is unfurling now. I see the ink of destiny warming. I feel the Kairos pulse moving through the atmosphere, and it is aimed at you. Anointed one, understand this first. Heaven's timing is surgical, not sentimental. What has felt like delay was never rejection. It was preparation, protection, and pruning. Every closed door was a divine hedge placed so that when the windows of heaven opened for you, only what was holy would enter. I say that because I have stood where you stand. I once waited in seasons that felt endless questioning and humbled, only to discover that the silence was a classroom where my heart learned how to carry more than money. Let that truth settle in your bones. The pressure you felt has been shaping capacity, not punishing you. Now, a direct word to your spirit. Heaven is intervening. The weight you carried is becoming the weight you will wear as armor. The hidden scroll tied to your name is loosening at the knot. I declare that the codes written in your spirit, the assignments, the talents, the network of influence are being decrypted. This is a Kairos unsealing. It is not dependent on human schedules, resumes, or applause. It is a sovereign appointment. You are about to move from waiting to walking, from survival to stewardship, from scarcity thinking to a resourceful mind that builds for generations. Expect tests, my child. Expect exposure. Expect the mirrors of power to reveal what has been hidden. But hear me again, those exposures are not meant to shame you. They are meant to make you holy for your harvest. When God increases capacity, He also uncovers condition. That uncovering is mercy. It shows you what to repent of, what to repair, and what to reinforce. I remember when my own season shifted, the sudden increase brought attention I wasn't ready for, and it almost led me into decisions I would have regretted. I had to learn to say no. I had to learn to listen to the quiet voice of discernment more than the noise of opportunity. The learning cost me humility, not loss. That humility matured me into a steward. You are not being thrown into abundance to be consumed by it. You are being entrusted with a tool that will fund something larger than your comfort. I want you to name that in your spirit right now. Your resources are meant to fuel your assignment. If you cannot identify your assignment, yet do not fear, often God releases resources to reveal assignment. Money is a flashlight. It illuminates purpose. But the brightness will also reveal shadow work that needs finishing. Let those shadows be dealt with in prayer, in wise counsel, and in the slow work of character building. This is the safe way forward. Listen to the way the air around you feels different, sharper, expectant, almost rehearsing. Those are the angels of opportunity aligning the pieces. I am sensing gatekeepers watching, not to critique you, but to test you. Banks, partners, spiritual allies, quiet benefactors, they are observing how you behave when no one is clapping. Your integrity in the small things will now be your currency in the large things. Show them that you are faithful with little. In my life, I learned that consistent honesty attracts trustworthy doors. Shallow brilliance attracts shallow offers. Choose depth. Choose long-term stewardship over short-term applause. Hear this prophetic line: the enemy will try to counterfeit favor with deals that glitter. You will be tempted with shortcuts disguised as breakthroughs. Some offers will look like instant keys, but they come with whispers that bind. Do not sign anything that requires you to compromise your voice, your purity, or your mission. I speak with authority because I have watched brilliant people lose kingdoms to one handshake. Your discernment is a gift. Protect it. Ask for confirmation in the quiet and wait until peace, not urgency, not pressure, becomes your inner yes. I also want to root you in a practical posture. Prepare your heart and your structure. Practicality is a spiritual act. Open one account for stewardship, meet with trusted counsel, begin simple budgets that reflect your higher calling, and build a list of causes that will receive priority when abundance arrives. This is not worldly worry, it is spiritual readiness. The house that wants to steward a blessing must have doors and rooms already built. When my seasons changed, I began with tiny disciplines, a ledger for giving a meeting weekly to review counsel, and a boundary list that said who could ask what of me and when. Those tiny practices turned into patterns that kept me sane and sacred. Chosen one. I will say something plainly, you will be provoked. People will talk. Old friends will test their loyalty. Strangers will craft stories. You may feel guilt for abundance while people you love still struggle. That tension is a crucible of compassion. It will teach you how to give without being exhausted, how to offer help without being controlled, and how to withhold what harms under the guise of help. Forgiveness will become a necessary discipline. It will free you to move with clarity. When bitterness rises, remember, forgiveness is not forgetting. It is releasing the lever of your pain so you can operate the machinery of blessing. Finally, for this segment, know this is not just about your bank account. It is about a redefinition of identity. Wealth arriving for you will not make you more worthy. It will reveal how worthy you already are. Stand firm in your calling. Keep your prayer life first. Keep your integrity loud. If anything in your life feels shaky, now is the season to repair it. I am with you through this. I have seen your hidden scroll begin to glow. I have watched the Kairos winds pick up in your favor. Breathe, prepare, and expect. The unsealing has begun. Chosen one. The signs are coming. I will name them plainly, so your spirit can recognize the sound of heaven when it knocks. Hear me. These signals are not coincidence. They are coded invitations from the hidden scroll now being unsealed. I speak from seasons where I learned to read the subtle language of Kairos. I have felt the hush before the thunder, the small favor before the flood. Listen. First sign doors you thought would stay closed begin to loosen. A meeting you never scheduled appears. An introduction shows up through a mutual friend with no obvious reason. This is heaven creating a corridor. Do not mistake ease for a green light to rush. Ease is an offering of time to prepare your heart. When I first walked into a room like that, I was tempted to haul my whole plan forward. Instead, I paused, prayed, and asked one question: who is this opening for me or my ego? Delay here is protection. The momentary hesitation will save you from hasty alliances. Second sign, your network rearranges. People move away and new faces arrive with the weight of destiny in their posture. Some who once stood close will distance themselves. That pulling back is not punishment, it is pruning. I remember losing friends who could not bear the light. At first it felt like abandonment. Later I saw it was shelter. Those who remain are not necessarily the loudest voices, they are the ones who never needed your wealth to love your soul. Third sign, dreams and impressions sharpen. You will receive downloads in the night that do not feel like your own thinking. Images of doors, of keys, of sealed pages, of ledgers with names. These are not random. Keep a faith journal. I learned to write every small nocturnal instruction down because one scribble later became the map that guided my giving. Dreams are often the scaffolding of the prophetic unsealing. They prepare you to steward what lands in your hands. Fourth sign, opportunities that test your boundary appear. The offer sounds perfect on paper, but asks for compromise of your voice or values. The spiritual enemy is clever. He strings golden hooks. I nearly signed a contract once that promised rapid reach, but required me to silence a central truth in my message. I almost rationalized it as strategic. My refusal cost me a momentary partnership, but preserved a lifetime of integrity. Pressure here is pruning, it burns off what would have consumed you. Fifth sign, financial gatekeepers begin to notice you. Small institutions, mentors, or quiet benefactors take mental notes. You may feel the scrutiny, application forms, reference calls, subtle tests of character. They are not simply vetting your plan, they are discerning the weight of your heart. I learned to treat these tests as interviews for stewardship. Show consistency, show patience, show faithfulness in small things. Those tiny habits become proof to those who can unlock larger resources. Sixth sign, the old narrative of scarcity will try to re-enter your mind. Imposter whispers will return like old friends. When the first credible offer came to me, panic and guilt crouched at my doorway. I had to rehearse truth aloud. I was prepared, I was called, and my season of hiding had purpose. Speak what is true to drown the liar. Anchor yourself in repeated prayers that declare both humility and authority. Seventh sign, you will be tempted to perform. Suddenly the world will watch. The applause will feel like validation for wounds you carried. Resist the seduction to perform, to prove worth. My most essential discipline was quiet gratitude without announcement, giving and acting before posting, praying before strategizing. That posture kept my soul from being hollowed out by approval. Eighth sign, a fine-tuning of stewardship instincts. Your mind will begin to think beyond lifestyle into legacy. You will see problems as opportunities for design, safe houses, training centers, scholarships, community rebuilding. This is not accidental. Heaven does not release resources merely to raise comfort. It releases them to repair what has been broken. Start mapping now. List 3 things you want to fund forever. I began with one small project and disciplined my soul to steward it well. That practice educated me faster than any course. Ninth sign, unexpected accountability. People enter your life whose role is to keep you clean. They will ask hard questions. They will remind you of promises you made in seasons of lack. Receive them. I once resisted a friend who asked me about a potential use of funds. I thought he was jealous. Later, I realized his fidelity kept me from a compromise that would have cost souls. Accountability is a gift. Protect it. 10th sign, spiritual warfare intensifies, but it is targeted. You will face setbacks that are surgical delays, audits, small thefts, rumors designed to test your posture, not to disqualify your destiny. Remember, always the pressure is preparation, the delay is protection, the pain is pruning. When I faced the first public accusation in my breakthrough season, it felt like a knockout blow, but it became the refining fire that clarified who I was and who I would not become. Stand in prayer, call witnesses, let truth be your shield. Now practical posture to match the signs, begin a covenant with discipline. Create a small stewardship account, a giving ledger and a counsel table. I made a tiny covenant with myself, no major decisions without 2 wise voices and 48 hours of prayer. That rule saved me from one quick decision that would have cost more than money. Craft rituals of discernment. 48 hours, a trusted advisor, fasting when unsettling pressure surfaces, and a prophetic check-in with someone spiritually mature. These are not legalisms, they are lifelines. Lastly, beloved anointed one, know this is personal. I have been where you tremble now. I have watched the scroll uncurl for me and for others. The signs above are the language heaven uses to wake willing hearts. Do not be ashamed of the tender places in you. They have been part of the training. Hold fast to integrity, keep your hands clean, and let your first response be prayer. In quiet fidelity, the Kairos will move, and what has been sealed will begin to script itself outwardly through you. Rest here a moment in that word. Chosen one, hear this now with the full weight of heaven backing the word. What is being unlocked in you is as much internal as it is external. The unsealing begins in the hidden chambers of your heart. Your capacity will be proven before your coffers are filled. This is not an abstract warning, it is a sacred coaching from one who has been forged in quiet fires and sudden winds. Listen, my child. First, understand the character tests. As your season shifts, your soul will be examined in small ways to reveal whether you can carry large things. You will be tempted to shortcut your principles for speed. You will feel proud if you are praised and afraid when you are criticized. Those moments are not setbacks. They are preparation, protection, and pruning. They cut away what would have weighed you down in abundance. When I first received sudden favor, a seemingly minor compromise almost cost me my voice. I learned quickly to build non-negotiable spiritual and practical boundaries that protect the calling more than the comfort. Second, structure your life like a holy vessel. Wealth without structure becomes a sieve. Create legal and spiritual frameworks, trusted counsel, an advisory table, a giving ledger, a stewardship account, and clear roles for who has access to you and your resources. I formed 3 simple anchors early: a spiritual advisor, a financial steward, and a legal counselor, and those 3 kept me from beautiful disasters. Do not rush into public visibility without private formation. Those who guard their process do not find their process stolen. Third, practice sacred secrecy. Not everything that blooms must be announced. Some revelations are whispered so they can ripen. I remember seasons where I wanted to shout each small favor. In waiting, I found better alignment and wiser partnerships. Secrecy is not fear, it is spiritual strategy. When abundance moves, do not advertise every movement. Let your generosity be discovered in action, not in self-promotion. This keeps your ministry clean and your motives undefiled. Fourth, fortify your inner life. Prayer, solitude, and remembering who you were before the gifts, these are your spiritual fortresses. When attacks come, and they will, you will need more than eloquence. You will need rootedness. The loneliness that sometimes arrives with increase is not abandonment. It is protection and alignment. God narrows the circle so you do not hand sacred oil to those who would misuse it. In my own climb, the silence I feared became the space I needed to hear clearer direction. Fifth, rehearse forgiveness as a daily discipline. Wealth will make old faces surface. Some will ask for help. Some will reappear with unclean motives. You will be tempted to repay pain with public exposure. Resist. Forgiveness is not an ethical suggestion. It is the oxygen for a steward's heart. When bitterness rises, name it, release it, and then act from wisdom rather than retribution. I chose to forgive before I reconciled, and that choice protected my destiny from being hijacked by retaliation. Sixth, refine discernment into ritual. Before any handshake that significantly alters your path, create a process: 48 hours of prayer, 2 trusted advisors, and a small fast if clarity is clouded. Use the spiritual tools you have: prophetic counsel, scriptural confirmation, and peace that is more than a feeling. I developed a simple test. If the offer requires you to silence your core truth, refuse. If it requires you to betray a promise made in seasons of lack, refuse. Pressure that tempts compromise is pruning. It removes branches that would have burned your harvest. Seventh, prepare spiritually for counterfeit favor. The enemy will use shiny deals to try to contaminate your mission. Some contracts will look like blessings, but come with spiritual strings. I once nearly entered a partnership that would have muted the very message I was called to carry. It appeared lucrative, timely, and wise on paper, and I was tested by the brilliance of its presentation. The saving grace was a quiet inner check that said, does this amplify your assignment or bury it? Choose assignment over applause. Eighth, embrace the transformation of identity. Sudden wealth will not make you worthy, it will reveal you. If you carried shame before, it will surface as imposter whispers. If you carried generosity, it will be amplified. Speak this aloud: I belong to the calling. I have been trained for this. I had to proclaim this repeatedly when the first offers made my stomach churn with disbelief. Pronounce your belonging. This is not pride, it is anchoring. Ninth, be wise in gifting. The first gifts you make will set generational patterns. Give with intention, not impulse. Build recurring commitments instead of one-off showmanship. I began with recurring scholarships and a small rehabilitation fund that honored promises I had made in seasons of little. Those consistent acts taught me how to steward large things through small, repeatable choices. 10th, accept that warfare will be precise. Expect audits, sudden lawsuits, and character attacks that feel like old wounds reopened. These are not meant to remove you, they are meant to refine you. When I faced public misunderstanding at my first major breakthrough, what felt like defeat became a clarifying fire that revealed who would stand with me and who would not. The pruning left room for authentic allies. Finally, beloved anointed one, surrender is your superpower. The call to steward kingdom wealth demands that you live less for applause and more for alignment. Surrender does not mean passivity, it means you move forward from a place of obedience rather than desperation. I learned that when I let go of controlling outcomes, doors opened that I had not even been asking for. The Kairos moment authenticates the obedient heart. Rest in this: your scroll is not being opened on accident. It is a divine unsealing tailored to the shape of your faith and the depth of your wounds. Keep your hands clean, your heart humble, and your posture expectant. The activation is both a test and a trust, and you are being prepared to carry it with holy authority. Chosen one. Now we get practical with a holy steadiness: how to move when the scroll is unrolling and heaven is asking you to step into stewardship. I speak from lived experience. I stumbled before I learned to stand. I gave impulsively before I learned to covenant my giving, and I nearly lost clarity when I trusted charm over character. I share these things to spare you the same bruises. Hear me, anointed one. Your season requires both spiritual depth and earthly wisdom. Begin with legal foundations. Your favor will attract contracts and signatures. I learned this the hard way when a hastily signed agreement nearly handed authority over my message to people who did not share my heart. The pressure I felt then was preparation. It taught me to protect formation before fame. Open a corporate entity, consult a lawyer who respects your values, and create simple bylaws that protect the mission. This is not distrust, it is prudence. A wise document preserves what God has built. Next, build a council table. No lone shepherd should manage a flock of influence alone. Assemble 3 kinds of advisors: a spiritual elder who will call you to holiness, a financial steward who understands integrity in numbers, and a legal mind who anticipates traps. Invite them into a covenant, no major move without their input, and 48 hours of prayer. I made that covenant after my first headline moment. It saved me from decisions rooted in anxiety, not destiny. Protect your heart with boundaries that are sacred. When wealth approaches, requests will proliferate. People will ask for access, for loans, for validation, for rescue. Sometimes that asking is genuine, sometimes it is testing. I learned to write a boundary list, clear categories of who may ask what, when, and how often, and to defend it gently. Boundaries are not coldness, they are love for your calling. They keep your compassion from being weaponized. Practice financial hygiene. Start simple: a stewardship account, a giving fund, an emergency reserve, and a reinvestment plan for the assignment. Money in the hands of an unformed heart becomes a hurricane. I began with a tiny rule: 10% to kingdom projects, 10% to reserve, and the rest stewarded with counsel. Over time, that discipline multiplied not only funds, but clarity. Make a budget for your calling, not just your comforts. Cultivate spiritual alertness as routine. Daily prayer, weekly solitude, and monthly retreats will anchor you. The enemy will escalate tactics, whispers, legal surprises, character slanders. When I first felt the smear campaign start, my instinct was to respond in panic. Instead, I learned to answer from prayer. Pressure then shifted from panic to preparation. Establish a rhythm where your first response to any crisis is prayer, not explanation. Train your mouth to say, "I will seek counsel," and then I will respond before the world demands a fast reaction. Guard against counterfeit platforms. Not every open door is divine. Some offers come with strings that require you to barter truth. Learn to ask 3 strategic questions before any partnership. Who benefits most? What do I give up? Does this amplify my assignment or mute it? I almost verbally agreed to a broadcast that would have required me to silence a necessary word of correction. I hesitated, prayed, and the door closed. Another door opened that honored my integrity. The delay was not denial, it was divine alignment. Invest in people before visions. Your first hires will set the culture of your stewardship. Hire for heart, not just skill. I once chose a dazzling resume over a humble heart and paid the cost in gossip and distraction. Now I refuse brilliance without fidelity. Train your team in the language of your assignment: generosity, discretion, excellence, and obedience to truth. Teach them to defend your sacred boundaries the way you have been taught to defend them. Become an expert at quiet generosity. Public giving can inspire, but hidden acts of mercy prove motive. I keep a private ledger of needs. Only God knows about anonymous scholarships, rent paid for someone who would be shamed by acceptance, back taxes covered without credit. These acts keep the soul clean. When abundance lands, your first instinct should be to bless before you boast. Manage exposure intentionally. Not every success needs a headline. Designate a media strategy that protects the message. When the world wants your story, decide beforehand what you will say and what you will keep sacred. My rule became speak to enlarge the vision, not to enlarge the ego. Let your testimony serve others, not feed pride. Prepare for relational reconfiguration. Families and friendships will shift. This is not punishment. It is pruning for alignment. I lost people who I thought would stay until I learned that some were only companions for the struggle, not the assignment. That pain was protection. It kept my resources from being drained by misplaced loyalty. Love them well, release with grace, and invest in those whose hearts are tethered to your calling. Train your discernment muscle daily. Ask God for a spirit of wisdom and then test impressions with trusted elders. When an opportunity sounds compelling, wait for the quiet yes that is both peaceful and punctual. I count 3 confirmations before I move: inner peace council agreement and a practical sign, a small door opening that makes the move sustainable. If you lack any of these, pause. Finally, declare a stewardship covenant over your life. Speak it aloud. I am not here to hoard. I am a steward chosen to release resources for restoration. I will guard my heart, protect my mission, and lead with humility. Say it until your soul owns it. I recited my covenant daily when the first checks arrived, and that repetition became a spiritual infrastructure that held me steady through storms. Beloved Anointed One, what I have laid out is a map, not a mandate. You will adapt it to your season, but do not dismiss discipline as legalism. Structure is the vessel that carries the miraculous. The Kairos moment will not wait for perfection, it waits for readiness. Prepare, practically pray perpetually, and protect your purity. I am with you in this, my child. Keep your hands clean, your heart surrendered, and your eyes fixed on the assignment. Chosen one, listen with the readiness of one who knows the hour has come. I will speak plainly and prophetically about how to survive the intensified atmosphere that arrives with unsealing the spiritual protocols you must adopt, so the blessing does not become a burden. Hear me, every pressure you face now is preparation. Every delay is protection. Every pruning is alignment. I know this because I have been tested at thresholds that felt like endings and found they were beginnings. First, establish a spiritual operations center. This is a sacred rhythm and a physical place where you retreat to recalibrate. Mine was a small room with a table, a lamp, and a notebook titled Kingdom Decisions. When high stakes landed, that room became my courtroom of prayer. I would sit there until the noise quieted and the next right step came. Create a habit before any major signature meeting or public response. Enter that sacred space for a minimum of 48 hours. Let fasting and prayer be part of that wait. The delay is not denial, it is protection until clarity visits. Second, implement a pause covenant. Promise yourself and your counsel that no life-altering yes will be spoken under pressure. I signed a covenant with 2 trusted advisors that required a 72-hour pause on any deal over a set threshold. That pause saved me from a partnership that would have cost the mission dearly. Pressure will come as a test to reveal whether you will grasp or guard. Choose to guard. Third, fortify your inner circle. The circle will shrink. That is refinement, not rejection. Choose people who know how to pray, honestly speak truth kindly, and hold you accountable quietly. My closest advisors were not the loudest in the room. They were the ones who told me the hard truth in private and then prayed me through the public fallout. Ask God for 2 faithful witnesses and 1 wise counselor to walk with you through every major decision. When betrayal surfaces, it will reveal who was meant for the journey and who was only for the struggle. Fourth, rehearse the discipline of hidden generosity. The world will praise public contributions, but your heart will be tested by what you do unseen. I keep a list of needs that I meet anonymously: rent for a mother, tuition for a learner, a medical bill paid without fanfare. These acts keep you humble and remove the temptation to perform kindness for applause. When giving becomes showmanship, it distorts the very thing you were entrusted to steward. Fifth, steward your reputation as though it is sacred property. When wealth approaches, people will work to buy proximity. Some will try to brand you, others will attempt to attach agendas. Protect your voice. I once had to decline a lucrative platform because it required me to mute a core conviction. It stung to refuse the visibility, but the refusal preserved the trust of those I serve. Reputation is not merely public opinion, it is a spiritual asset that opens or closes doors in heaven and on earth. Sixth, prepare for precise attacks. Expect audits, legal probes, and slander that feels like a re-wounding. When these appear, remember they are examinations, not executions. I faced an audit that arrived on a Tuesday and felt like doom. In the waiting, I prayed, assembled records, and leaned on counsel. The audit became a clearing, not a collapse. Let preparedness be your posture, document record, and render accounts regularly, so when tests come, you will not be surprised. Seventh, become fluent in spiritual discernment. Discernment is not fear, it is trained perception. Train it by practicing small confirmations. Before saying yes to a social media campaign, ask 3 questions. Does this lift the mission? Does this cost integrity? Does this align with counsel? If any answer is murky, wait. I learned to slow my mouth and quicken my prayer. The voice that whispers certainty is different from the voice that demands speed. 8th, schedule relational audits. Wealth will invite requests that blur lines. Family, friends, and strangers will tug. Review your relationships periodically and decide who receives what. I created categories: immediate family support, legacy investments, emergency aid, and ministry funding. I share these categories with close family, so expectations are clear before tension rises. The delay of transparent policies is protection against relational collapse. 9th, cultivate a legacy mind, not a lifestyle mind. The money you handle now is a seed bed for generations. Plant accordingly. I started with one small recurring project, a mentorship fund for emerging leaders in my neighborhood. That one discipline trained my eye to multiply rather than spend. Let every spend be a mini investment in a story you want to leave. 10th, learn the art of holy refusal. Saying no will become a sacred skill. Refuse offers that require compromise. Refuse applause that costs peace. Refuse partnerships that demand your silence. The first no I spoke publicly cost me an ally, but saved a message. Saying no is not rejection. It is protection for the larger yes reserved for your assignment. 11th, anchor your identity in calling, not cash. Wealth will test your sense of self. If your identity is bound up in bank statements or headlines, it will be fragile. Anchor instead in the work only you were born to do. Speak this daily: I am a steward, not a sovereign. I carry the calling, not the currency. I repeated those words when imposter whispers returned, and they steadied my soul. 12th, allow yourself sanctified solitude. The loneliness that often accompanies increase is not abandonment, it is altar space. Use it to hear the fine print of heaven's contract with you. I scheduled monthly retreats, even a single day away, to refresh and recalibrate. Those times prevented rash moves and preserved my peace. Lastly, beloved anointed one, remember that being tested does not mean you failed. It means you are being prepared for higher trust. When the enemy applies heat, heaven applies purpose. When doors delay, God designs capacity. When people prune, God positions the remaining branches to bear fruit. Keep walking in obedience. Keep your heart surrendered. Keep your hands clean. The scroll that is unsealing over you is being written with ink that does not fade. Receive the discipline, embrace the refinement, and move forward with courage. Chosen one, I will speak now to the deeper layers, the dark knots that try to bind what heaven intends to free. This is a direct, tender warning from one who has been marked by both blessing and ambush. Sudden wealth invites spiritual contracts masked as opportunity. They will come soft and shiny, dressed in good language and smell like success. Do not be naive about this. The enemy funds what he cannot stop in order to contaminate it. But neither be afraid, for every trap you see now is being flagged by heaven. Anointed one. The first thing I must say plainly: do not sign alone. I learned this the hard way. Early in a season of favor, I nearly sealed a partnership that promised fast reach and glossy platforms. The handshake felt right. The documents read clean until a quiet, heavy impression told me to pause. I obeyed that hush, consulted counsel, and found clauses that would have silenced me and siphoned the mission. That pause saved a ministry. The lesson landed like a cord around my heart. Haste is a scent that predators follow. Make professional pauses sacred. Make legal vetting a spiritual practice. Create protective architecture before the money arrives. Set up trusted financial structures, an accountable entity, clear bylaws, and a stewardship board that includes a spiritual elder, a financial fiduciary, and a legal guardian. When I first received resources, I turned them into a small trust and named guardians who could veto any deal that compromised our mission. That governance saved us from charming wolves. Governance is not cold control. It is a holy hedge. Train your legal team to speak the language of the soul. Contracts must contain moral clauses, exit strategies, and anti-binding language that protects your voice and your values. Use escrow and staged funding to protect both parties. Ask for indemnities against exploitation and insist on transparency. These are not worldly tricks. They are spiritual armor manifested as paperwork. When I confronted a slick investor, my attorney's simple clause about mission protection turned a potential trap into a negotiated aligned partnership. Be wise about public exposure. Media can amplify blessing and also accelerate attack. Choose when to go public. I made a rule after painful headlines: no public launch without a 3-month internal audit and council blessing. It felt slow, but it kept the story clean and the people around me safe. Protect your family and the most vulnerable in your circle by limiting what you share and layering security, digital hygiene, privacy controls, and trusted spokespeople. Guard your heart against the seduction of approval. Wealth magnifies the need to be loved by the loudest voices. I remember feeling hollow praise after a large gift and nearly spending to drown the discomfort. Instead, I learned to invest in inner healing therapy, spiritual direction, and a small band of honest friends. Psychological care is not luxury, it is a stewardship tool. If your soul is unhealed, abundance will expose the wounds and magnify the fallout. Prepare a philanthropic blueprint. God is setting you to outgive nations, not simply outshine peers. Decide now what you will fund consistently for years. Create an endowment or a donor-advised fund with clear grant criteria. When I started with one recurring scholarship program, it trained my habits. That discipline later became a legacy fund that outlived my impulses. Think decades, not months. Anchor your giving in systems that survive personality and protect the vulnerable. Teach your family governance early. Money will call relatives into question. Establish family protocols, expectations, role descriptions, and regular stewardship meetings. My own family nearly fractured when a sudden check arrived. We survived because we had previously agreed on a simple covenant about requests and reporting. Money tests trust, structure preserves it. Discern partnership by fruit, not by pitch. Ask these spiritual legal questions before you engage. Does this amplify the assignment or mute it? Who benefits most? What does surrender look like here, and who is asking for it? I use 3 confirmations: inner peace council agreement and a small door opening that makes the move practical. If any confirmation is missing, wait. Stay vigilant about demonic contracts disguised as business deals. They will ask for compromise of message, mission, or morality. Pray over every signature. Invite prophetic counsel to read the spirit of the partnership. Some deals will come with spiritual smell tests, a heaviness, a rush, a pressure to hide terms. These are red flags. Walk away from beauty that costs your voice. Protect your reputation with prudence and truth. When slander comes, respond with clarity and counsel, not defensiveness. I once faced a rumor that felt like it could collapse years of work. We documented, we prayed, we answered with transparency. The storm passed, and the refinement exposed faithful allies. Your reputation is a spiritual asset. Steward it with measured responses and documented integrity. Finally, remember the higher calling. This wealth is not your throne. It is your tool. I have felt the seduction of making resources into identity, only to learn that the true victory is in using them to free others. Let your first and last acts in every season be acts of restoration. Build institutions, not monuments. Train leaders, not followers. Seed movements, not followers of fame. Chosen one. The unsealing in your life will be tested. The pressure will reveal what was planted in the dark. The delay was protection, the pruning was mercy, and the exposure is preparation. Walk circumspectly, love fiercely, govern wisely, and give generously. Heaven has marked you for this hour. Your response will determine how well you carry it. My beloved, stay humble, stay vigilant, and move with both courage and caution. The scroll opens, and you are ready. Chosen one. I want to sit with you here in the quiet that follows the thunder. People will change when what was hidden becomes visible. That is part of the season. Relationships rearrange, and that rearrangement is not rejection, but refinement. When someone steps back, it may feel like abandonment. Do not let it lie there unexamined. That pulling away is pruning, my child. It removes branches that would have shadowed your harvest. I know this from experience. I lost a few companions I expected at my table, and their absence hurt like fire. Yet that same absence created space for true allies to grow around me. You will be tempted to explain your story to everyone who questions it. Resist. The impulse to justify is weakness dressed as courage. Silence is a sacrament when used to protect the mission. Speak only when asked to serve, not to soothe fragile egos. I learned to answer with 3 words. First, I will pray. That simple posture bought me time, kept my peace, and revealed who truly cared about the calling rather than the currency. Expect confusion from those you've helped in seasons of lack. Some will think your new favor makes you obliged to their expectations. That pressure is preparation, not punishment. It is creating character in you so you can steward what arrives without being consumed by it. When I began to say no to people I once said yes to, I felt sorrow and shame. Over time, I saw it was alignment. My boundaries preserved my capacity to give more wisely. Saying no became a sacred act of saying yes to the larger work. Forgiveness will be one of the hardest practices, and it will also be one of your most powerful tools. People who hurt you will return with hands outstretched. Your first reaction may be to brandish proof of pain. Do not. Release the lever of resentment immediately. Forgiveness is not for them alone, it is for you. I forgave someone publicly before they offered apology privately, and the act freed me to move without bitterness. Forgiveness does not require reconciliation, but it does clear your temple for worship and wise action. You will face isolation, a quiet that feels like exile. That quiet is protection. Heaven narrows the circle so the tattlers and the takers do not have full access to your oil. Use the solitude to listen to your inner life, to counsel, and to the small voice that whispers strategy. I built a practice of monthly solitude, days a walk, a journal entry, a single meal in silence. Those margins kept me humane and spiritually sensible in times when the world wanted me performative and public. Imposter whispers will return like old shadows. They will sound reasonable. You're not ready. This was luck. You don't belong here. Counter them with the facts of your journey. Speak aloud the steps you took in seasons of little, the nights you studied, the ways you served, when no one saw the promises you kept in private. Remember, money does not make you worthy. It magnifies what is already in you. If you were generous in lack, you will be generous in plenty. If you were vain in little, abundance will amplify it. Let that reality keep you humble and honest. Build structures that outlast moods. Commit to a few recurring practices that will anchor your choices: a weekly council meeting, a monthly financial review, a yearly retreat for your leadership circle. I instituted a small stewardship board and a quarterly check-in that required written reports. Those mundane rituals protected what looked miraculous on the outside. Structure is not the enemy of spontaneity. It is the vessel that carries it. Train people to steward beside you. Your first hires and closest partners set culture. Choose character over charisma. I once hired someone brilliant who lacked fidelity, and their charm cost me a season of distraction. Now I prioritize slow fittings, probation periods, shared small wins, and spiritual conversations that reveal heart over resume. Teach them to protect sacred boundaries as you learn to protect them. Keep generosity central and strategic. Give with intention, recurring scholarships, sustained community projects, institutional funding that heals rather than momentarily comforts. The first gifts you make establish a pattern. I began with one monthly commitment to a learning fund in my city, and that discipline matured my soul to invest in systems, not just moments. Remember, my beloved, your giving is a language your descendants will understand long after names fade. Protect your testimony with humility. When praise comes, receive it as a stewardship, not as a throne. I learned to let gratitude land quietly in my chest and to respond publicly by elevating the needs I was given the privilege to meet. Make your platform a microphone for the voiceless, not for amplifying your identity. This posture will guard you from the seduction of applause. Engage in the work of inner repair, spiritual direction, therapy, confession, honest friendships. These are not signs of weakness, but of wisdom. If you do not remove the broken parts of your heart, abundance will reveal them in costly ways. I invested in a counselor who helped me see patterns I could not notice alone. That investment saved me from repeating mistakes that money would have made louder. Declare a covenant over your life and repeat it daily. I am a steward, not a sovereign. I am called to release, not to remain. I will guard integrity over image. Say it until the bones of your belief hold it. Those words will become a fence in days of temptation and a song in hours of loneliness. Finally, chosen one, keep the end in view. The wealth that edges toward you is not to decorate your name, but to redesign generations. Your choices now will either channel blessing into legacy or let it leak into spectacle. Choose legacy. Choose the slow work. Choose the people who will stand when the lights dim. You are not being lifted for your comfort alone. You are being raised to administer mercy, to break cycles, and to light corridors where there were none before. Walk this path with courage and tenderness. The very pressures that frighten you are shaping you for capacity. The delays that have wounded you have been aligning your season. The pruning you face is making you fit for fruit. I have watched it happen. I have felt the same rawness in my own rise. Lean into the process, trust the painter, and keep your hands ready to give. Your scroll is unsealing. Carry it with a heart that knows how to steward heaven's trust. Chosen one, come close and receive this final portion as anointing and instruction. I speak to you now as one who has knelt in the same silence you have known and then watched heaven answer in ways I never would have scheduled. Hear me, the unsealing of your scroll is not an accident of timing. It is Kairos, the appointed hour, moving with surgical precision. What has been delay was not denial. It was preparation, protection, pruning, and alignment. The pressure you felt was shaping a capacity that only now can hold what heaven is releasing. Anointed one, your heart will be the battlefield and the bank. Guard it zealously. When money enters, tests multiply, but remember, tests are not punishments. They are spiritual measurements. They reveal what has been planted in darkness, so it can be strengthened by light. I learned that lesson when a sudden favor arrived and my soul began to wobble. The inward corrections that followed were painful for a season, but those corrections were preparation. They built a steadiness that money alone could not purchase. Listen, heaven will hand you resources as a tool, not as a trophy. You are being entrusted with divine currency to fund assignments that outlast your lifetime. Name it aloud with me. This is not for flexing, it is for founding. If you are tempted to hoard or to prove, stop and remember who you were in the quiet seasons. The same humility that kept you faithful in drought will anchor you in the flood. I had to relearn generosity the day a check arrived that could have rewritten my image. I chose to fund a small program first, and that single act taught me how to multiply without losing my soul. Practical wisdom and spiritual depth must marry. Legal structures, trusted counsel, recurring governance. These are not worldly shackles, they are holy scaffolding. When I first stepped into visible blessing, I did not have a board. I learned the hard way that charisma does not equal character. After I formed a small stewardship team, the chaos calmed. That team was not there to control me. They were there to protect the calling. Build your walls before the flood, so the waters lift and carry what you were made to steward. You will meet mirrors of power people who reflect back your hidden loyalties and fears. Do not be frightened when these reflections show you old wounds. Those wounds are part of your training. They are being exposed not to shame you, but to sanctify you. I remember being confronted by a truth I had avoided, and in that painful moment, I saw how much mercy had been working in me all along. Allow the exposing to be mercy. Let it sharpen, not destroy. Expect tactical opposition. Audits, lawsuits, character attacks, and spiritual distractions will surface. These are not random. They are precise attempts to detour your destiny. But they are also opportunities to demonstrate faithfulness. When I faced sudden opposition, my first steps were documentation, counsel, and prayer. Those are not boxes to check for image. They are habits of a steward. Pressure is preparation. Delay is protection. Pain is pruning. Say those words until your spirit rests in them. Discernment will become your daily discipline. Develop rituals that slow down decisions, 48 hours of prayer, 2 wise voices, and a procedural check before any major yes. Learn to read the spirit behind offers, not just the numbers. I nearly lost a season to a deal that read well on paper, but smelled wrong in spirit. The habit of waiting saved an entire movement. Remember, the right doors will often open slowly and quietly. The loudest offer is rarely the safest. Keep identity separate from increase. Wealth will test who you think you are. If your dignity hangs on your account balance, you will be fragile. Anchor instead in calling and covenant. Speak your covenant daily. I am a steward, not a sovereign. I will give guard and govern with humility. Those words became my lifeline when applause threatened to tilt me. Repeat them until they are thicker than the noise. Forgiveness is currency. People you loved will reappear with hands open. Some will seek restoration, some will seek rent. Forgive quickly, because bitterness will steal your ability to distribute mercy. I forgave before apologies came, and found that release enlarged my capacity to serve without bitterness. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is freeing the vessel so it can be used again. Teach your children and your circle how to steward before they inherit. Legacy is not what you leave after you are gone. It is the practices you install now. Make recurring gifts, seed institutions, and create training programs that outlast your personality. I started one small training that seemed too humble at first. It became a pipeline of leaders who carried the work forward. That is how a life becomes a line, not a moment. Lastly, do not fear the loneliness. It is sacred space. Heaven narrows the circle to protect you and to reveal allies. In the quiet, you will hear the next steps. In the solitude, you will meet your next partners. Use the silence to listen closely to God, to your conscience, and to the counsel you have built. I found that my most decisive moves were born in private nights of listening, not public seminars. Chosen one, receive this as a prophetic commission. Walk into this season with courage and caution, with generosity and governance, with prayer and paperwork. The scroll that is being unsealed over your life contains assignments that will change households, communities, and perhaps whole regions. You are not being elevated for vanity. You are being elevated for vocation. Be wise, be humble, be bold. My beloved, I have seen the handwriting of heaven on your days. The Kairos hour is upon you. The codes are being decrypted. Keep your hands clean, your heart soft, and your feet rooted in obedience. The unsealing continues, and you were made ready for this. Chosen one, receive this as a heavenly benediction. Your sealed prophecy is opening, your hidden scroll is being revealed, and you stand now in your exact Kairos moment on heaven's clock. I bless you with clarity, courage, and holy discernment. If you have known delay, know it was preparation, protection, pruning, and alignment, not rejection. Walk forward faithful, keep your heart surrendered, and steward what is given with humility. Remain aligned with the flow of the anointing. Gratitude will steady you. Comment below with the word that landed on you. Subscribe to stay sealed in this season, and go in peace, my beloved.